Hello, everyone, and welcome to One More for the Road Live. It is me, Eric, your co-host, but the other co-host this way.
Hi. Yeah, I know, right? We're all flipped around.
We're backwards. Thanks, Discord. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that you're doing what you're doing. But Puzz, Alaminia, yo, thank you for the 6 months of Prime Gaming.
Yo, speaking of months, holy smokes.
Holy smokes. Oh my God. Now, do you remember the name of our baby for your channel?
Oh, no.
You don't? How dare you?
I know. I'm a terrible dad. It's true. I'm a terrible dad. That being said, I'm gonna name ours Vegito. This time.
Of course you are. Jeffrey. The answer was Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, oh my God.
It was so easy. And Sylvian, welcome in. Kevin, welcome in. Java, hello to everyone. And welcome in. I hope we're all doing super well. I've had a good day. I've played Zelda all day. How can you have a bad time?
I saw the Zelda plays. That was a funny time.
No,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I gotta go back and clip and maybe make some highlights out of certain moments.
That was a bad time for me.
Did you ever figure out what was going on with Epona during that? By the way, because
I have no idea. She just
wasn't. And then
okay, so what happened? I don't know. I guess maybe I was hitting the whistle button or something.
Right, that was my guess. But I was what? Because sometimes it seemed like she just sort of spawned in as opposed to ran up.
I know. It was so bizarre. And I'm like, and then she it was the most insane thing I've ever seen. The first time, the first fight, she got knocked off the bridge.
I saw that.
She was on fire, fell off the bridge. I'm like, oh God.
Impressed she didn't die, honestly. A trooper.
I mean, she probably did die in that timeline, but I did too.
Also, oh my God, yeah, also true.
That was the funniest. That was the funniest damn fight I've ever experienced. You know what's funny though? My fight against the lightning Gleeok was exactly the same.
Oh my God.
I died as I was giving the last hit.
Of course.
These Gleeoks are rude, man.
I have yet to fight one, so you're brave.
Oh, it's insane. It's insane. But we have things to do. And
yes,
as always, we start these with a top 3. I have one in the doc, but I was going to see if chat had any good ones for us. So chat, if you have a top 3 for us to do right now is the time. I should have said this earlier, so that way people had a few minutes to come up with it, because now we have to fill, but we can fill it with more Zelda.
Yeah, hold on.
So I started schlepping over to the Gerudo Desert.
Okay, nice. You started that.
I got to the town. Top 3 burgers. We've actually already done top 3 burgers. Top 3 bruh moments. What would a bruh moment be?
Oh, yeah, that could be a lot of things.
That could be so many things.
And it would also be hard to do that without tossing shade on the people, because we're streamers and we see some things in chat from certain people.
Oh man,
yeah,
dude, someone's gonna somehow trick me into talking about my chat, and it'll be Jover. Yeah. It's all Jover.
Is my mom calling?
One moment, Felix's mom is here to.
All right.
Give us important pizza-based information.
Literally just telling me to put the dryer back on to have the clothes do another cycle.
Hi, Papa Wind. Yeah, hi, Mama Wind.
Hi, Mama Wind. Oh, gosh.
Yo, it's important that you use the dryer. All right?
True.
All right.
True.
Okay, chat reflects a streamer. Oh, God, what did I do?
Whoa. Hold on. That only goes so far, Aliminia. All right.
Oh, my God. Yo, if my chat reflects me, what have I done?
I'm wondering the same thing, honestly.
My Lord. All right. Okay, so I have one. It's not as interesting as some of the ones we've had.
Yeah.
Yo, Tiki Joe, what's up? I would say, what is your top 3? And I don't think we've done this. Top 3 candies.
Oh.
And stipulation, you can only have one chocolate
Okay.
as a crutch.
Because I was about to say, I think we did. I want
We
to say
did
we did like chocolate before.
We did chocolate bars.
Yeah.
We did candy bars, but okay, so no bars.
Okay. Okay. So off rip.
Okay.
My first, my number one probably is going to be well, I guess it's a chocolate too. Smarties. They
Smarties
are
are
made by Nestle.
chocolate.
They are everywhere else in the world except for America.
Boy.
Because Smarties in the States, I know, are the chalky like candy.
Yeah,
or
they
whatever,
got the little
those
chalky
tiny-
dudes. I love those
Right.
things.
Up here, at least, they're called Rockets. And so we have this other candy called Smarties. Off-brand M&Ms. I don't know about off-brand. If you ask me personally, they're the better M&Ms.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like it's like candied milk chocolate, kind of like there's like an outer layer of just sugar, pretty much. And then the inside is milk chocolate, kind of like M&Ms, but like I feel like the layer on Smarties it's like the tiniest difference, but it's a notable difference because I feel like when you crunch into an M&M, it's kind of soft because of the amount of chocolate, right? With Smarties, they're a little more condensed, so they're like crunchier to bite into and everything. Like so if you're looking for that satisfying crunch, Smarties are the way to go. I'll send you a box. Yeah, so I would say Smarties for sure. Otherwise, in recent days, I've been pretty big on like Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, dude, I love Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, can't go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And
you ever do Warheads?
I have done Warheads.
I haven't had one in like since I was like a teenager. My God.
It's funny you said Warheads because I was thinking Airheads actually, and I haven't had an Airhead in a long time. But Airheads,
Airheads are dope.
Yeah.
Oh man, those are the bomb. All right. I'm picking up what you're putting down there. All right.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna go with crunchy M&Ms specifically, not pretzel. Crunchy and pretzel are different.
Mm.
My dad swears up and down they're the exact same. I'm like, no, that's wrong.
Okay.
I love crunchy M&Ms. Now, granted, they don't come in the giant industrial case of M&Ms that I have at my desk.
Of course they don't. Why would they?
Yeah, that's my chocolate. That's my crutch. Cheez-Its. And you know whose fault it is? It's your fault. It's your fault.
What do you mean?
Because you kept having Cheez-Its on your throne, and it sounded really good. I've been on them real hard.
Look, I don't think you should blame me. I think you should more so be blaming the people who are buying them constantly for
Cheez-Its are not a
make
candy.
The notification go off. That is also true.
All right, fine. I just wanted to talk about Cheez-Its, man. They're at my desk.
We just wanted to point a finger at me.
Really, at the end of the day, yeah, you're not wrong.
Oh my God, that's wild. You were stewing on that one.
I was. I've been holding on to that for a little bit. Yep. All right. This is actually harder now because I just suddenly realized that chips are not a candy. I'm gonna have to say, I've already used my chocolate too. Mike and Ike's. There we go. I'm trying to remember the dang name of them.
Huge.
Yo, Mike and Ike's. My dad is massively into those, and therefore I also am.
Yeah, that's fair.
Pork and mushroom with fried rice because I want to talk about my supper. Yo, I had General Tso's chicken from the local Chinese shop, so I could talk about my supper.
Hey.
It was pretty good,
I still
too.
got like pizza crust right here, so.
Yo, hold on. This is a shout out, all right? This is a call out even, all right? To Little Caesars, all right? Little Caesars,
really?
All right? Look, I've gone to bat for you a lot, okay? But this was unforgivable. Your pretzel crust is not pretzely. It's just your normal crust, but you put the pretzel salt on it.
Yikers.
Why did you do that?
We gotta talk.
I was excited. Also, I didn't get my cheese sauce.
Oh, no cheese sauce?
That's like half the reason to order it. Oreo popcorn? Yo. Fight him. Oh, I was very mad.
I would be too. Yeah, no, that's unforgivable.
It's true. It's true. I need a third one. Crap, we've been doing this for too long already.
Oh, you're fine.
We've been doing this for too long. My own top 3 backfired. I was really hoping Chad had one for me. Swedish Fish.
Ooh, that's
I was like thinking about what's actually on my shelf.
yeah, no, Swedish Fish are the tried and true.
French
if you would
bird
ask
peanuts,
me,
yeah.
like even 2 months ago, I think Swedish Fish would have made my list.
Oh dang, really?
Yeah. But I've just been on that Sour Patch Kids kick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, Sour Patch Kids are where it's at, man. That's where it's at. All right. And I've seen a lot of good things. Chat's been putting a lot of good stuff. And if you want to be in the chat and you're on YouTube right now watching this later and you want to be in the chat of these, you can go to the Twitch links in the doobly-doo and then you can see them and then interact with both of our streams. Yes, are better.
What do you mean by that? All right. Anyway.
But all right. I already know this is gonna be an interesting one.
Oh,
today
yes, it is.
We're doing the Trails to Azure character tier list.
It's about to be on violence in here.
There's gonna be some violence. We have opinions.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And we're gonna start with a real rough one. Let's start off with Lloyd. Professional bag dropper bannings. Oh man. All right.
This is talk to me.
I'm gonna be 100% at the beginning of the game. All right. Even like towards the middle of the game. Yeah. I was super ready to just slam this dude into like the C, B tier.
Right. That's fair.
After completing this game, I'm putting him very solidly in a very high A.
Hey, listen. I'm glad we're actually on like a similar boat because I almost said S rank because of like
I'm hesitant to give us an S on the first one because Lloyd. I will argue that Lloyd is by far my favorite Trails Pro tag so far.
Yeah.
Now, granted, absolutely. Apparently, Reen gets better.
Right.
And honestly, that's what happened with Lloyd as well.
Yeah.
Like, between Lloyd and Estelle, the two who we've seen their full journeys, I like Lloyd significantly more. Like, I love Estelle. Like, Estelle is Bestelle, but like Lloyd bannings.
Yeah, Lloyd bannings. Oh, I can't lie. It's that's high A is a good spot.
Yeah, he might move up, he might move down, but I think this is a very good. He's not the best character by a long shot. We've got a few very good characters here, but he's very strong. I got to raging spin an old lady in this game, so like I'm a little biased, like that's really what it is. Like I would give him S rank purely based on the fact that I could do that alone. he can. Oh my God! Could you imagine you're doing a New Game Plus run, right? And you can meteor break that lady.
Oh, she deserves it.
She does.
I gotta go back.
That is 1,000% what I'm going to go do.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I gotta go back. I gotta do that for my New Game Plus. Because then she's one of the like 3 things I didn't scan.
Oh, right.
It was the rudest thing of all time. But yeah. Lloyd Bannings. A, love the guy.
Yeah.
Tier 1 dad. Unfortunately, a cop.
Right.
We're not gonna make the cop tier. This time. Not this time. Too many people would be in it. It would completely destroy the value.
Yeah, that's fair.
Of the tier. So just assume that everyone is a cop. All right. F tier backed her up. Oh my God. Yeah. So, the granny. Oh, that would be hilarious. All right.
This one hurts. This one really hurts.
I want to hear you talk about Ellie McDowell.
I wanted so much more for Ellie in this sequel because of because obviously she didn't get much outside of her sort of initial introduction and I guess discovery of like purpose and all that stuff, right? You know, that initial wave of development that every character got, right? The thing that gives them their identity. And so I was just like, oh, okay, you know, second game, we're gonna get more Ellie, right? And I can't really remember many instances where Ellie actually like took hold of anything. So you sort of showed the initiative. You know, she was very much just a reactionary character, if even that. I don't even want to say she was a reactionary in the same way that Lloyd is reactionary to the world around him, right? Like Ellie was literally just there to sort of reaffirm some thoughts that were already happening, not even so much put the characters on the right track again, you know, like she was just kind of there to be like, oh, you have this idea? Yes, I agree. I think this is a good idea. Or, hey, maybe this is a bad idea. And that was kind of just it.
I think...
And then you save her.
I think one of the problems is my favorite Ellie moment is optional.
Right. Okay.
Because you need to, when you get to the Lance Maiden fight,
yes,
Ellie actually has additional dialogue if you've done certain quests.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Yes, I remember the mention of that. Yes. She'll actually kind of allude to the past of Arya and Rod, right?
Yeah. She's like, oh, you can't be the Lance Maiden from, you know, Legram.
Right.
But it's very heavily implied that she is. And then she's like, oh. Right. And then there's like some other dialogue. A lot of her good character development happens in side content, which is unfortunate.
That's unfortunate. Yeah.
But yeah, she's the last character in the finale to rejoin the party.
Yeah.
Wait, is that accurate?
Good save.
Noelle, I think.
Actually, I think it is. Oh wait, you might be right.
I'm not. I'm
pretty
not
sure
confident in that assertion. I think.
Well, actually, because you have to do the whole raid on.
Ellie is the last.
Yeah, Ellie's the last.
Okay.
Yeah, because you have to do the whole raid on Michelin Wonderland.
And that's after you get the whole party together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ellie's last.
I had to think about that.
It was a good save.
Yeah, like Ellie is late to the party in both times we're getting the party together.
Yeah.
And so what little time she has, she doesn't really spend. And it sucks because I love Ellie. Like Ellie was probably like my favorite or second favorite in the first game.
Right.
But like, is she above a C?
I wouldn't say so. I don't think so.
This hurts. Like I want everyone to know that this hurts.
Like she's the one. Like
I know. Oh, dude, she was your ride or die.
Yep, she was.
She was. Then we got Risha. We'll get to Risha. I want to finish the SSS.
Yes.
Yes. Tio's great, right?
Oh, absolutely. Tio is still great.
The ride arc is finished. We're on the die arc now. Yeah.
Right.
To go through for you to like them. Oh, I'm not saying I don't like Ellie.
Yeah. She didn't necessarily like need an arc, but it would be nice to have her still more involved at all in the story, I guess, or in the main content. Because again, like Ari said, a lot of her involvement happens in like side content, right?
And Felix
if you're playing like me, right? If you're playing like me, I'm wondering where Ellie is. Meanwhile, of course, you know the reward is if you etch a little bit closer towards 100%, let's say.
Yeah.
And we're strapped for time while streaming these games. So
yeah. I think Tio and Alamania is basically saying what I'm thinking. Like Tio also kind of took a back seat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because like she had her big climax for her character at the end of Zero.
Yes.
Where she talks about her past with Guy. And like the cult and all that. But however, she is still, I feel like she takes a lot more of an active role when she is there. Like, she is the last one to show up, but she also shows up with Yin.
Yeah, that was huge.
Which I was like, okay.
Yeah.
She pulls us right out of the fire, like literally with the palm party. I hate the palm party.
Right. Yep.
I lucked out so hard.
Really?
So I did all the palm party challenges because there's an achievement duct taped to it.
Of course.
And I had to do it for 100%. And the second to last one took me like almost an hour.
No way.
But the very last one, the secret one, if you've done all the others, is Tio.
Yeah.
And I
of course
accidentally luck sacked that so hard.
Wow. Well,
it was it was easily the luckiest thing I've ever seen. I like her though. I would say like oh man, the SSS is really falling on hard times in this game.
It's tough, right? Because like
I think the problem is like the bar here is very high. Right?
It is remarkably high in this game.
We need a Puyo tournament with chat. I would rather not. I will firmly shake people's hands instead.
This might be crazy. I see you Slitter in B. I actually might disagree and be like C, but obviously higher than Ellie.
Really?
Because like while she does, like you said, she does take a back seat and she does have a more active role, but like there's what more can you really say about Tio, I guess, besides like the bits of saves? Because otherwise, I mean, honestly, yeah, she's very supplementary.
We're gonna get crucified, you're aware, right?
Oh, absolutely. I'm well aware. It might change, but she might end up being like a low B right now. I don't know though. We'll kind of feel this one out, I think. She would be at like the highest of C or like the lowest of B.
Let's keep her in B for now.
Okay.
If for any reason, because I know Randy's just going to go right here. And we have a nice even row of the SSS.
Oh my gosh. Free Randy from this abuse, yo.
We can't. It's literally impossible to free Randy. He won't even free himself.
That's true.
All right. Hold on. Now I'm going to be crucified. Whoa. Yo, we haven't even gotten to Kevin yet, okay?
Yeah, wait a second. Hold on. What do you mean you two already know about for your hot takes? What do you mean you two, Allie? What do you mean two?
Oh, don't throw me under the bus.
No, because you got some takes.
Dude, right? I have takes.
Hold on here.
All right. You could get thrown under the bus by association.
That's crazy.
All right, let's talk about Randy. Let's talk about Randy.
Right.
I think that his character arc is annoying.
Extremely, actually.
Very
back and forth.
Like 90% of the plot of this game could simply I don't know. I feel like so much of the plot is tied around Randy having a pissing contest with his uncle.
Yeah, pretty much.
And why?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you will become the war god. Randy's like, I don't wanna. Like, dude. Just. All right, I just think that if Sigmund Orlando had at any point just been like, what if I was just the new guy?
Right.
Exactly. And he does like a whole scene where he's like, oh, I can't be the new war god. It's like, but then at the end, he was like, I will be the new war god. I'm like, just come up to that realization later or like earlier.
Yeah, the Orlandos are a mess in this game. Literally all three of them.
Like, I like Sigmund Orlando. Hell, I even like Randy.
Yeah.
But my God, his entire story arc took up so much of this video game.
Yeah, it was kind of ridiculous. Shoehorned in at like the weirdest spots sometimes anyways, and just he felt very inconsistent. And like, I guess it kind of makes sense, right? Given what's going on. It's like, do I stay at home or do I actually try and do something about my family? And then the whole back and forth of, honestly, I I really disagreed with how he treated the SSS with that. It was like, oh yeah, the whole, oh yeah, for sure. Like I understand. Thank you, Lloyd, for using talk no jutsu on me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still gonna go it alone though, and like just everything kind of like leading up to that. Obviously during it, it just felt very like weird and in some ways maybe even a little forced. But
It's
yeah,
I feel like they wanted. Okay, all right. This is me reading into this a lot,
yeah.
but it
I even
felt
think that's
to
what I'm doing.
me
But
like they wanted to do that kind of an arc,
yeah. Mhm.
and they saw Randy was tangential enough that they could shoehorn it in.
Right, pretty much. And it almost feels like they like, I
Like
mean,
it
because
feels,
literally he,
like
Mhm.
it feels contrived to me a
yeah,
little bit.
right,
And it's
right,
it's the weakest. Like Randy's like whole like I'm gonna do it alone and like comes back and then does it again. Like
yeah,
it's the weakest part of one of the strongest video game stories of all time.
yeah, and that's
Like,
saying a lot
honestly.
considering Ellie still ranks above him. Like
Yeah,
that's saying a
Red
lot.
Constellation's not known for brain power. That's true.
True.
But look, I wanted it. It's just something about it always felt off to me. Maybe not at the time, but definitely like on like sitting down and thinking about it. And I like
Right.
it. Like again,
Yeah.
I gotta say, like anything we say where we're like, oh man, this part of this was bad or this sucked, like there's a very real possibility that I'm gonna say that Azure is gonna be the best RPG I've ever played.
Also true. Yeah.
Like it is making me really, really, really want to go and replay Skies of Arcadia. Like, because I'm like, okay, is it nostalgia goggles or was it the best RPG of all time? Because again, Skies of Arcadia is the best RPG of all time.
Right. I guess there's only one way to find out, huh?
I look, just release the port, Sega. Release the port.
True.
Too hot-headed and stubborn about his train of thought. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Are we keeping him at F? Or are we gonna bump him up to like C?
I think for now, sitting him in F is actually appropriate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to do Noel. I want to talk about Wazzy because we like Wazzy. I'm not ready to talk about Noel real quick. Well, hold on. We have Noel could wait a minute. I want to talk about a good character that we both like.
Do we like him?
I like him.
He's all right.
He's fun. Look at, have you seen his scarf?
Oh, I see his scarf. I see all. I've had to see almost all of the things he did in this game. Oh,
he did a lot in this game. He did a lot. I like Waz. He's just the cooler Kevin. They fixed Kevin Graham.
But that's not saying much, okay?
Look,
that's not. It's Kevin Graham. That's not saying much.
Okay. All right. Okay. I just like him.
Yeah, hey, that's fair. That's fair.
All right.
I think he's okay. Like
I'm gonna shove him up here for right now so we can see him.
I will say, and I actually do agree with that placement.
Mm-hmm.
He he comes in clutch whenever he does. He had some meaningful, like, I guess, like insights, like for us as the player looking into his character and sort of like taking him or seeing him actually get like, serious, be introspective of himself and the things around him and so on. Obviously, just like in the previous game, love his dynamic with Wald. Sad to see what happened, obviously, but it's still cool to see how like he took that and approached it. And even when the big reveal happens, it is also cool to see him still take that step back and not like lose parts of his character just because he has like, oh, here's my established identity. I am actually I am actually this. I don't even know what to say, but but it was
we can do full spoilers.
okay.
We could do full story spoilers. Yeah, or full spoilers today.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So when he comes up and he's just like, oh yeah, I'm a Growler there. I was like, whoa. But obviously one made sense, and two, yeah, happy that he did not lose himself to the business side of things. He was still himself.
It's nice to see a character. It's nice to see a character like have a transformation like that and not become very bland or like very like pigeonholed.
Exactly.
Like I think the example of that I always use is Tetra or Zelda from the Wind Waker. Tetra's like the best character ever, and then all of a sudden she becomes Zelda, and then she does nothing for the 99% of the rest of the game.
Loses the tan and everything.
I know, it's the worst. And Nick, welcome in. But like Wazzy, like he's still just a little chaos gremlin.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. He's just a chaos gremlin with, his own battle bus.
Yeah. Kind of ridiculous.
I like Wazzy though. I like him a lot.
Wazzy and B makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. All right. See, now we've gotten back to that. We have to talk about Noelle Seeker.
F.
S.
There's no way. There's no way.
Dude, Noelle's my ride or die.
No, you are a sicko. There's no way. You said S? No
S.
way. No way.
S.
No, God. Not a single
I was waiting
shot
for you, Nick.
in Gehenna. Not a single shot in Gehenna is she S. No way.
Yeah, man. I like her a lot.
No.
Noelle basically committed treason. Like we all didn't.
Not like her. All right. She forsake everybody and everything. It's just trash. I can't believe it.
Go ahead, man. Hit us with why Noelle Seeker should be down here with Randy Orlando.
When you put it like that, it is kind of crazy, huh? Like maybe we should bump Randy up. Nah.
We can bump him up. I'm fine with that.
I just think about like, she like literally witnessed the SSS's like growth in Zero, was a key player in like that final act, okay, and everything, and then joined us and was on the job for like however many months, okay. Strong sense of justice and all that good stuff. Like that was literally her character. I am the most justice of them all. Noelle.
Yeah.
Seeker, okay. And then it was time to like put in the justice. She was like, "Oh, I gotta follow the rules." Well, I mean, okay, granted, I guess the whole justice thing is still the justice rules thing kind of goes hand in hand with her setup. I get it. But also screw Noelle Seeker for what she did.
No.
The final acts of the game. I can't stand. Like I wanted to just. I was happy to S-craft her when it was time to 1v1. Like, that's really what it comes down to. Like, I was very happy doing that.
I was on hard mode too. That fight was nuts on hard.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, because she actually almost beat me, even on normal.
She did she hit me with like 3 S-crafts. It was actually diabolical.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, she did need a major wake-up slap. Like, all right, here's how I see Noelle, all right? So it's like you said, like, she has this whole justice thing. She's, like, the most, like, she's dedicated to the cause of protecting Crossbell, right?
Yep.
But, like, she is also, at the end of the day, military, right? Yeah. And she has that's, like, her character. She's ingrained.
Yeah,
with that. And so like when Dieter Croy shows up with 3 big robots and declares himself the president, Noelle's like, this is how we can protect Crossbell.
Yeah, all the military kicks in.
Yeah, and then and if you pay attention to her dialogue and like the dialogue with around the boss fight too, you can tell she's conflicted. She knows that, what's going on isn't, she doesn't have her heart in it, like Lloyd says, the Noelle Seeker he knows isn't that weak, isn't that indecisive. Like she's struggling that whole time and she needed that wake up call. She needed Lloyd Bannings to go in and just beat the hell out of her for 20 minutes.
Right. She's still not S though.
Yeah,
I swear to God.
Like 40 agility. Yeah, like she. Okay. Like
she's not F. Like I'll full on admit to that. I will say. Like I'm being dramatic when I say she's F tier.
Oh, I know. I know.
But I wanted to just.
Dude, no,
the rest of the game, I just wanted to noogie her head into her head. Like
you needed to see how I was reacting. I'm like, she's got the master plan. She's on the inn. She's gonna rescue us. And I was in like full denial.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe that. And honestly, that would have been a great time for her to do something like that, to be honest.
I was
She just
expecting it.
didn't.
I was fully expecting it, and like then I was like, oh no, we're just gonna have this moment instead. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I get it. Like I love Noelle. Noelle was like my final bond for this game.
Okay. Okay.
Like,
Okay.
because she's like, I just like it. Or she's a gearhead. She rides, she likes bikes. Anything that has a moving part to it, she's excited about it. Like,
Yeah.
she has hobbies. I love her. She's like my favorite character probably in this whole game.
That's extremely fair. I totally get it. So,
Yeah.
so
If you were
so
to
what are we
take
about to do
out the
about this?
betrayal, where would you put her?
Probably also in B, to be honest.
Probably above Wazzy or below Wazzy? Like where on this B tier?
That's actually tough. Oh, that's it. That is actually tough. Oh shoot.
I am very happy putting her at the top of B and have her be
Okay.
our gatekeeper character for now.
Okay.
The
Okay.
B tier gatekeeper. All right.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
And
fair.
then she gets to be with Lloyd, who I
Yeah.
made them date. All right, hold on. Can we talk about this? All right, hold on. We'll talk about Rishia, and then I want to talk about Final Boss.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sounds
Rishia, we both are a big fan of, right?
good. Java. Yeah, agreed.
That's actually super fair, yo.
Yeah.
Well, did she ever see that like on screen? Did she ever get that
What like
realization?
the actual like grenade of
Yeah.
or she doesn't actually see the footage of the grenade thing happening, no. But I mean, she does receive that information.
Oh God, you're right. Oh
Yeah, she absolutely receives that information.
but she received that information really early.
Mm-hmm.
Like she would have known that as it happened.
Pretty much. If not maybe a little later, because like, you know, everybody like I mean, even you know, the SSS obviously they were like, did the Dieter freaking set it like, you know, set this whole plan up and whatever, and then comes of course like getting Noelle back and so on. So at some point, either after you get her back, like obviously she's let in like into the loop, and after there's still no reaction really afterwards either, I don't think.
Acknowledges it and lets it pass
Wait,
on
Lloyd
by.
mentions it in prison.
Yo, I'm gonna have to like go look at
Yeah,
that. I'm gonna
okay.
have to go look at that dialogue.
I'm sorry, she's C now. Like, no, let me stop. But yeah, that's
I'm gonna-
kind of wild, especially considering like, because I actually had a hard time justifying her actions and like the conviction to being militaristic still after
Mhm.
learning what happened to her dad and everything. Because it was an accident on the job, right? That he got like shot or
Yeah.
something like that. And so I was just kind of like, huh. So in the face of all this, like, they're still just going to be like, I'm a military girl, and that's
we
that.
knew we didn't know about the accidents thing until deep into
Yeah,
the last
absolutely.
dungeon. That's something
That
that
is
we
true.
knew, but they didn't know.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah, they did not have that knowledge until the Arios fight, which we'll get to that.
True.
But let's talk Rishia and why is she our
Rishia.
first S tier character?
That's what I'm saying. Oh my god. Full bias ahead, but even without the bias, I would actually say she probably belongs there. There's so much of an important focus on her in this game, and it's good.
There is her final bond scene is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Felix over here almost crying again.
That was good.
Is optional. Well, her major stuff is something you should do anyway because it's worth it.
Would you say that her
even
major stuff is
said-
optional though? Because even the conversation at the hotel at Michelin Wonderland, like, I mean, that's pretty major, right?
I think that's optional.
Really?
I think that one.
I wouldn't have assumed so, because right after that, like, he goes missing and all that.
Have to have. I think you have to have already had some bond with her.
No way. Okay.
I feel like that.
Yeah.
Might
Feel
be
to let us
accurate.
know, Trails fans, but like, dang, that's crazy.
But like, yeah, like her, like getting her backstory and like her final bond scene and that are, those are optional. But like her reaction to Arkansas
Yeah.
I guess her conversation with Ilya, I put conversation in big quotation marks after that.
Mm-hmm.
Boss fight in the the boss fight in the wetlands. I love how hot blooded she gets over Arya fighting Arya and Hod.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Like, because it's completely out of left field. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kick your ass."
Yeah. I loved it. Risha, such a highlight in this game, and that definitely comes from the bias because I spent a lot of time with her. I literally maxed out her Vaughn, but
I mean, same.
Yeah.
To be honest,
God,
look,
so
we're allowed
good.
to be biased. This is our
That's
tier
true.
list.
That
If
is
you
true.
think
That
your
is true.
if you think you have a better tier list, first off, you don't. But ours is better.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
it's here. That's the whole sentence.
If there's one thing I actually wished, and obviously it makes sense given what happens with the character afterwards, right? But I really wish we got to see that bloodlust come out of her again when her eyes actually went red. Oh man, I was like, okay, we got to see that at least one more time, right? But then we didn't, and like it was fine, but some part of me definitely wanted to see like that sort of that, even if it was brief, like just an angry Risha who was like letting herself feel that emotion and act on it, right?
Outside of the Arkansas fight or Arkansas scene,
like like post Arkansas scene, like even though I guess the result of that was obviously her re-signing a contract with Hayway, but you know, we obviously didn't see that process or anything like that. So I mean, you know,
she did not feel very into that. It's definitely seemed.
Yeah.
But like she was definitely looking at that as a means to end. We have a lot of characters.
We do.
Where are we putting Dudley? And why is it C tier?
That's what I'm saying, right? Yeah.
Like I like Dudley.
Yeah, he's great.
But like, look, the most important thing the most interesting thing that Dudley does is buy new shoes.
Yeah,
he literally has like a whole extra scene where you can catch up to him and he's buying his custom shoes.
Oh my
he's just old Mark. He really is.
Yep,
no, they're customs. They're not even Stragas.
They're just custom shoes.
They're like leather shoes.
That's cool. Okay, okay.
The enlightenment of I don't need to murder prevents further instances of well-timed murder. Yeah.
One thing I kind of appreciated in this game, and I can't recall if they really did it in Zero, but like I like that he's oftentimes paired with Arios or like people of similar, I guess, like skill level to him, you know, because it makes you then put into question, or it can make you put into question, like, oh, like okay, like if they're kind of fighting on par with one another, like would Dudley sort of actually be considered to be of similar strength, or is he really just kind of like a support for technically S rank freaking Arios McLean over here, you know? And I kind of like playing with that idea in my head that he's just like an actual like really, really powerful, competent person.
I think that Dudley is like comically overpowered for a policeman.
He is.
Like he's definitely like A rank bracer material, but he's not like Estelle Bright level.
Yeah, no,
right?
No, definitely not. Yeah,
like he's like he's in the like vaguely like just below that tier, I would say.
Yeah, and it's just it's like a fun little idea. It makes me appreciate him a little bit more.
Yeah. He did work with Arios and Guy. Yeah, that's fair. That's super fair. All right. Kia's S, right?
Yeah. I paused only briefly because I'm like, damn it, this girl stressed me out for like,
dude.
Not even when things started like hitting the fan was I stressed. It was like leading up to it, right? It was like the whole, oh my god, my little girl is in danger.
Actually,
and,
yeah,
like
right,
and like the danger hasn't hit yet, but I see it happening. You know, like, pain, but we're here. Hey, Kia tier.
We love the Kia tier in this house. Here we go. There we go. Kia tier.
Let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
The Penguin Kia is S+. It's true. They did use her powers on us. All right. This is something that we're definitely going to get into in like the review of Azure. But I am someone who very heavily does not like to say that, oh, the ending of something makes anything, getting through anything, worth it, right?
Makes sense.
Like I don't like to say that the ending of something, like if the rest of it is bad, like but it has a good ending, like you should watch it. Like,
right.
But like Azure is like a 7 out of 10 video game for like 95% of its runtime. Okay. Yeah. The ending of Azure retroactively makes 0 and the rest of Azure better.
Yep.
Like the actual like last like 5% of Azure actually makes the entire duology better.
Yeah, I get that.
Like and it's insane how that happens. Like I've never seen any other piece of media do that.
It's masterful. I'll put it like that. It's masterful.
It is actually like a masterclass in narrative design. Yeah, but Kia, I'm sure like a billion other dudes have talked about Kia for way too many hours. So Kia,
true.
Kia tier.
Boom.
Zeit's the only competent member of the SSS, so he deserves to go up into the A tier.
When Zeit came through, now I this is not a knock against him, but was I the only one who went, there is no way you could talk this whole time?
Dude, right?
The whole when he started speaking words, and I figured out it was him because I think I guessed it was him before he actually made like his formal appearance as the big beast, right? And so like my brain immediately flashed back to like the first meeting and then onwards, and I was like, this whole time you could have been talking to us, and I'm so upset. But I obviously, I get it.
You talked to Tio. You just didn't like the rest of us.
Yeah, that's really what it was, huh?
We just sucked. Ragnar, God, you're right.
But like, at least Ragnar spoke with us in the same game, right? Like, this man Zeit held us off for like a game in 3 quarters.
It's true.
Before being like, yes, the goddess sent me, by the way. I'm here to help.
Lloyd, welcome to the exposition highway. We're going to be here for a while. Ignore the glitchy hills in the background. I have some lore to give you.
That cutscene. Oh, yeah, man.
That transformation. The cutscene was wild. I think that's the point. Okay, it wasn't the prison break. It was Zeit showing up all digivolved. I think that was the point in the game where I'm like, okay, we are the gas pedal is down. The brakes are off.
Pretty much.
Ragnar and Zeit were speaking to us telepathically, the Aeon system. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what that was about. And then because, Kia is Kia, of course she understood too.
Yeah. Remember when Zeit ate a man? Almost
ate a man?
Yeah. He ate his hat. He kept that hat. That's his hat now. Hat.
What a good dog.
Filled with leather. Abyss.
Yo.
Abyss is a bro, right?
I love him.
Like the dudest of bros. Where the hell do we put him though? Like
that is tough, right? Because like instinctively, I'm like B.
I might knock him down. I'm like B. Like B is like his absolute peak, right?
Yeah.
Like I like him, but like it's Abyss.
Yeah.
He was ready to throw hands with Demon Wald. It's true. Oh, we'll get to Wald. Don't you worry. He's down there somewhere, probably in the villain pile.
Oh yeah.
Gosh. But yeah, like I don't know. Abyss was a good support character, in my opinion.
He was great. I was so happy to see that request from him, even though it was like during the saddest of times. I was like, oh my god, like we get to help Abyss. Like, let's go. I was so enthusiastic about that.
That made me thrilled.
Yeah.
God, this is rough.
Yeah, right?
This is hard.
Like, is he better than Elliot Dudley?
That's
really what it is at this point.
I kind of want to put him here.
That's extremely fair, if you ask me. That's extremely fair.
Ignore the ice cream sounds.
Oh, all good. All good.
All right. Just they're delicious. All right. Do you have ice cream? No. You know who does?
I wish.
I don't either. You know who does? My wife. Speaking of ice cream, Reese. A tier.
Yo. Yeah. Was there at all another mission where you help her at all by chance that I just missed?
There's,
or is there just the one?
All right, let's think for a few seconds. There's the beauty pageant.
Right, of course. Yep, there's that. And then there's when you go to
I'm so sorry.
Which no, you're good. I forget which like old bell tower place it is.
Oh,
but the one
Moon
near
Temple.
Mains.
The Moon Temple.
Yeah, I know you help her there. Is there
Yeah.
is there another like thing like that at all by chance that you know of?
She helps you figure out the grass. Yeah, she
Okay,
talks about
yep.
the lore for the grass.
Right.
I think she has another like scene in the graveyard, but I'm not confident in that assertion. Okay. I'm trying to think. I think that's it. Honestly. And like the Moon Temple is optional.
Yeah, that it is.
So is the beauty pageant, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it is.
God, the side content of this game is just so much.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Reese is the bait for Wazzy to go undercover. Yeah.
Right.
Like,
yep.
I just like her, man. She sparks joy.
That's good stuff. Yeah, Reese is great.
The scene with her Kevin. Oh yeah, there's another scene after the Ion fight. So like, they do the beam struggle, but Kevin learns that beams don't work like they do in Dragon Ball. Instead of colliding, they just went through each other. They both got wombo combo. And so if you go to Americana Village after that fight, after that cutscene, Kevin and Reese are in the inn. And it gives like a cap off to that. You can also find the Brights in Mainz.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, you can find them over in Mainz with who's the other person who's over there? It's not Nielsen, is it?
Oh, no way.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember who the person over there with them is, but like Ren's all like, oh no, it's George, Gorg, doll guy, yeah, doll maker guy.
He's there too. Oh my god.
Yeah. No, Nielsen's there a different time.
Right.
I hate that room. That room's the side quest room where you have pop quizzes. It's the worst room. It's the worst room. I hate it.
Yeah. Okay.
Look, George.
Yeah, that is a spelling. Yeah.
Why can't anyone named George spell their name right in this series?
Yeah, right. What's going on with that? Ridiculous.
Yeah. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
One second.
Yep. Say no more.
Yeah.
Say no more. Yep.
GG's, Kevin. GG's.
Kevin said at the top, right?
At the top, right? Just turn your monitor upside down, and then he's at the top. I'm sorry, Kevin. Look,
how
Kevin,
shocked were you at the beginning?
You're the great.
The true. It's literally in your username. We can't debate against you.
You're the greatness. All right. This Kevin, do you want this Kevin taking any of your greatness? Nuh-uh.
Right.
Not the case. See, this guy's after that. All right. Dude, when I saw him in that intro, my flight or fight response immediately crocked. I was like, I need to beat him up. Lloyd, just hit him, whack him, just do something to keep him out of this game.
Honestly, I was so happy when I was like, when I like, I guess learned/realized like, okay, we're not going to be dealing with him for the foreseeable future. I was so mad when he came back, obviously, but like,
oh man, he's
why they hate? No, that's it. He's the villain of his own game. I
He
actually don't
literally
even need to
is.
elaborate any further. He's the villain
Go
in his
watch
own game.
our Trails the Sky the Third review. We talk about it.
All of our reasons are there. It's true. All of our reasons are there. You got to check that out.
Dude wanted to be the pro tag so damn bad. He just wanted it. He wanted it so bad.
Like,
Kevin.
thank God Wazzy was there as kind of like a buffer for Kevin. Like, that's a good reason for Wazzy to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous.
It really
Freaking
is.
Kevin. Freaking Kevin.
Freaking Kevin. Sal was pretty cool, right?
Yeah. Honestly. A lot of respect for him in this game, even though he is still obviously just as conniving and cunning as ever.
Is he like an A tier? I'm not comfortable putting him that high.
No, I wouldn't put him that high either. B for sure.
I think, yeah, like B is definitely where we want to be. Like, I like him. He's a good villain.
Hey, likewise. I like him
He's like
too.
a tier 1 villain.
He's like a perfect take on like the kind of like lawful evil villain, to be honest. He's like, all right, I'll play by the rules, but damn it, I'll be back. Like,
yeah, and he's fun. That's the thing I like about him.
Yeah.
I don't know if you went over to the ancient battlefield, but if you go there after Rishia joins the party, you could go to like their secret base.
Oh yeah,
their new secret base, and you could just kind of show up and be like, "Oh, hello, how's it going? We're just having ourselves a good time trying to save the world. How you guys doing?" They're like, we are preparing," or however it is that everyone talks in this conversation. I don't know why everyone's got these weird South Park Canada accents. And it's great. I don't know. It's just a neat little thing that, like, if you go, because like you have to go to the ancient battlefield, and then you take like the lower path, and that takes you up to like where the little bell was, the little tiny bell.
Yeah.
And then there's like that door, right? And it has that long staircase down. You go all the way down the staircase, and then you have to go all the way across this hallway. And then there's a dude standing at the door.
Oh my God.
That up to this point has been locked. The only reason I even know, the literal only reason I found that was because there's a fishing spot.
We're done here.
Look, man, I care about fishing way too much.
And honestly, respectfully so. Respectfully.
All right.
I get it.
I'm a fan. Fishing minigames make me happy. I'm a simple guy. But no, he's great. He's fun.
Yeah, that was good.
Cecile?
Ooh.
This is a hard one, too, because...
It is tricky. I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, she's more present in this game.
She's a lot more present, but like, what does she do?
Right.
She tells us about Kia getting abducted.
That is true. Yep, she does that.
Abducted.
Otherwise, like,
she takes care of Shizuku.
Shizuku. Mm-hmm.
She actually is kind of our informant for a lot of things.
Yeah, and vice versa. We fill her in on a lot too, right? And she's just sort of the, oh wow.
Yeah, her best. She did have it rough. Yeah. Yeah. We find out she's like the reincarnation, or she's like a descendant of Saint Ursula. That's cool. That's knowledge.
Yeah.
She makes fun of Lloyd, which I'm always a big fan of making fun of Lloyd. That's something we should always be up to.
Oh yeah.
I'm fine with B.
I'm okay with it too. I like her. She's great.
I'm a fan. Speaking of fan, Fran is S tier, right?
Oh, absolutely. What? Fran stepped up this game,
dude. Fran,
in the biggest ways. Low-key.
I feel like I didn't hear it, but I feel like you pressed the Vine Boom button on your stream.
I'm not gonna lie to you. So my stream deck is right here. There have been a number of times, because I'm already on the page like where it's at. I know it's like hard to see, but I'm already on the page where the Vine Boom is at. Trust me, I've been itching to press the button.
You can press the button. Like, I'm
It's
not going
not.
to hear
It's not
it.
as satisfying. Yeah, exactly.
It's not,
It's not as
yeah.
satisfying.
I'm sorry. You know what? Just
It's
figure
okay.
out a way to wire it through your
There's a way. Honestly,
mic.
I will
know
figure
there's a
that out.
way. I know there's
Yeah,
a way.
I'll figure that out.
That would be amazing. You have sound effects. I won't have sound effects, but you can have sound effects.
Oh, you know what? Actually, wait. There's a Discord soundboard. Hold on. Does anybody have the
No.
vibe? Dang it! Nobody has the vibe with their server, so we'll fix that at some point.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
We got the tools. We have the technology.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You knew like the one bit of the finale where we did not have Fran to turn in our missions was legitimately the saddest thing. Like you turn in that first one and no one says anything. I'm like,
I was angry. I was like, what am I even doing these for?
I did not have blessed Fran noises. I almost didn't do some of those side quests because I just wanted to go get Fran.
Would not have blamed you.
But no, she stepped up so hard. She like took over. She helped do like support on the Merkaba, or the battle bus, as I've been referring to it. I had to actually throw the correct name. Most people will be like, Eric doesn't remember the names of things. Well, I do, but I call them other things.
Yeah, exactly.
I will never call. Look, anytime we have any sort of vehicle that flies in any game, I will always refer to it as the battle bus.
And honestly, very valid.
Yeah, she tanked a grenade. Well, okay, someone else tanked most of the grenade, but she still was there. Yeah. And like I just love Fran. Fran is absolute tier 1.
Yeah, Fran is great.
Yeah, your mic was breaking up a little bit there, but I think maybe it's being fixed.
I swear to God.
Okay, there
we
go.
Yeah, I adjusted my sensitivity a bit too.
All right. Yeah. It was cutting in and out. It sounded like. All right, who do we got next? Oh, Garcia.
Yo, Garcia. Oh my gosh.
All right, I really like him, but like he's probably down here for me.
Yeah, agreed. You know, it's very brief. It was just a cool, like, oh wow, like, hey, we really got, we're really roomies, and he stepped up in a big way at that time. I think that is a perfect place.
Like he had a bit part. He played his part really well. Yep. And he did a great job. I'm a big fan. 10 out of 10. Yeah. Rave reviews. Okay.
Yo.
Grace is like A tier, right? And probably like high A tier.
Like Grace was Grayson.
Grace is another one who stepped up really hardcore.
Yeah.
And she like second favorite Trails reporter. I mean, no one's quite as good as Dorothy Hyatt. Does Grace have a last name?
I mean, I'm sure she does. Ask me what it is, though. Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, like Dorothy Hyatt is the pinnacle of media. Like nothing beats the liberal news.
Right.
Grace Lynn, that tracks.
Yeah, that sounds about right, actually. Yep, Grace Lynn.
Mm-hmm. That tracks. No, I love her. She's great.
She's great.
10 out of 10. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I'm like, what are my cats doing?
Your favorite is spoilers? Not like
fair enough. Oh geez. We got a big one here. Guy.
Give me your letter because I already want to say S. He was on screen for like 2 minutes, not even that. And I already want to say S. Like he was so cool.
Yeah.
Like no wonder why he's dead. He is literally the greatest.
He is the GOAT. There is no one better. Man. Nothing compares. In fact, we're slapping him at the top of S.
Oh yeah.
He was a month away from marriage, retirement. The dude was like, people knew he had to go. He did.
Like we've had to do a lot of reading in this series and other games too, obviously, right? Like being like JRPG, mobile game fans, etc. Right? Like we've had to do a lot of freaking reading. And I don't think I've been happier reading Trails dialogue than when Guy Bannings was ever on screen.
Dude,
the flashbacks, when we were talking with a ghost, okay, all of that. Like, I was like, yo, Guy Bannings is the one. And you're not hearing this, but I'm playing my applause sound right now. Like, he is the one.
Well, next time we will hear it.
Yeah.
He had the plot of this game on lock years ago. Dude was like, I've discovered the problem.
Yep.
He was the best, man. Just absolute legend here. Rest in peace. I would 1000% play a game based on Guy Bannings.
Yeah.
Even knowing going into like obviously like the last fight would be the Arios fight, right?
Right.
Going into that fight, knowing how that ends.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would be a tier 1 game.
Agreed. Let us like be in the room where the planning happened to take down the cult. And
oh my god!
everything,
yes,
right? Like,
I need that.
All of that in. Maybe get some of his days in there when he's when he's working with Dudley and Sergey, and Arios.
Yeah,
like give us that content and like just end them at the end. It could literally be like the crisis core of Trails. Like, let's do it. That would be it. That's literally what it is.
Crisis Core is such a good video game.
Yep.
Crisis Core. Yeah. Crisis Core is my personal favorite time that a rich person put his very own OC into his favorite video game.
Right.
And completely just borked all the lore for it forever.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
The fact they got him back for Crisis Core Remastered is one of my favorite things. Because you knew he would do it.
Yep.
That's his OC.
Yep.
The OC's in FF7 too. Wait, Genesis is in FF7?
Yeah, what? I do not remember that. But hey.
Really? I was like, look, I never actually beat the OG FF7. I know he's going to be in the remake. You haven't played Crisis Core. Oh, it's so good.
It's time for you to lock it in.
You thought you meant Zach? Oh, no. Genesis.
Oh,
Genesis.
No,
Gacked. Right. All right, for those who haven't played the home game, Genesis is Gackt's OC, Do Not Steal. And he just got to make Final Fantasy game with it.
Yeah.
For no reason. Yeah. Tetsuo Nomura was like, I like your vibes. Get into my game. Or however it is Tetsuo Nomura talks. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
What a guy. What a legend.
Honestly.
Ilya is like a B, right?
Oh.
Like a high B?
I would say so. I would say high B, yeah.
I have to get us back on track, otherwise we'll talk about
totally
Gacked for another 20 minutes. Can you blame us, though?
Yeah.
Ilya took one for the team. She did.
Yeah,
she did. Ilya
is gonna make the best recovery. I'm manifesting that she's gonna recover and do something great, whether that's actually dancing or something else. But
we kind of get that in the credits.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. She makes a recovery. We see it with her eyes.
Yeah. It's true. I actually forgot about that.
Dude, I cannot. Dude, our review's we're gonna have so much to talk about in that ending. Dude, I've got notes for days.
Oh, I should start writing some down because I know I
put the skeletons. It's gonna be a two-parter. It's going to be a two-parter. I started the notes. I would really actually appreciate if you could flesh out the chapter 3 and 4 stuff, because I do not remember what happens in chapter 3 and 4.
Okay. I got you.
Oh, yeah. The finale 100% could have been a separate game.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
We could have had a Crossbell trilogy.
I remember, granted, I know this doesn't hold a significant candle to like how your playthrough ended up getting padded out, but I remember kind of getting to that point by maybe 80 to 85 hours into my save. And then when I ended, it was almost at 120. And I was like, holy smokes.
You were at 120?
Almost, I believe.
I was about to
I
ask
know you
you.
were. I know you were much higher.
I
but,
literally just was like just ticked over 140.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
I watched that whole VOD, by the way. I literally fell asleep. This is a real fun fact. I fell asleep, and then when I picked the VOD back up, someone literally was like, I wonder if Eric fell asleep.
That's hilarious.
And I literally did. Like, I remember like the moment directly before that.
Yeah, that is too funny.
It was
way too funny.
It was great. It was amazing.
Oh, Sully.
She's like,
yo.
I don't know where the heck to put her.
She made large strides in her growth. Obviously, starting from the attack on Crossbell onwards. Prior to that, she's still a freaking brat. So
It's a good question, right?
It's tough because it's either like bottom of B or like highest of C.
I'm fine leaving her like, okay, is she better than Ellie though?
That's tough.
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think this is her home. I think that's actually that cemented that for me. I think she's like mid C is a good spot for her.
Right. Yeah.
Why was she optional in 0? I don't know, man. We don't make good decisions here. Yay. Felix Soul Red Arios. Yeah, basically.
Yo, good time. I would do it again.
Jonah.
Oh my gosh.
F.
Yeah, he was even more annoying. Like, yeah, whatever, he came in handy whenever he did, but he was so annoying.
Look. Correct.
Yeah.
He gave us the pizza recipe again.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, oh man, this is gonna be real interesting. Gamer culture is being erased in real time. Good. You don't get annoyed easily. How do you live such a wonderful life, and how do I learn to do so as well?
Just take notes from you.
Yeah, your mic's still kind of blooping around.
Out.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a connection issue or what. Please hold.
I hope
not. It doesn't look like it on my end.
Okay.
Could it be whatever setting you just adjusted?
Maybe. Well, I mean, I adjusted the sensitivity again. I lowered it some more.
Now you're fine.
Okay. I'll also hold the mic closer to me.
That's probably going to help a lot as well.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what's happening is it's like procking the just the edge of the noise gate. Yeah. And so I think that's what's going on here.
All right, cool.
And I don't have separate audio.
Of course.
Do you?
No.
That would have been smart. That's something we should have done.
Yeah, that's on me. Whoops.
Nope. That's on me too. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Look, we're professionals. All right.
True.
We literally do this. This is what we do during the day.
Yep. 100%.
Hey, look, it's my fault. I don't have Chloe. Chloe's interesting. Like, and the next few characters are all kind of interesting because they all kind of only show up for the trade conference.
Right.
And I'll actually move Gileath up here too because he's kind of in that same boat. Like, yeah. Because like Chloe and Julia. Yeah, the trade conference happened.
Yep.
But we both did it like 2 months ago.
Yeah, right.
Because this game is a year long.
Yeah. That's crazy to think about that we did that and it was like 2 months ago.
Right? It's actually
that was
insane.
Like the trade conference was the hype going in.
Yeah. Both of us were like, oh my god, the trade conference is going to be the peak, the pinnacle of this video game. And then it kind of happened. And then it happened. That was it. And then like, all right, well now it's over. We even had Toa time.
Yeah.
And Toa time's the best time.
Yeah.
You did Azure in like a week. What's it like to not have to? What's it like to be able to do something like that?
In no way. You're a bot. You must have
Oh
been
my
playing like
God.
literally like 72 hours straight, then gave yourself maybe an 8-hour break and then knocked out the rest. What?
Right? See, the problem is, I know that we take like twice as long as everyone else
Of
to beat this game because people are like, I 100%ed this game in 80 hours. I'm like, how?
What? No way.
A blue blur.
I see what you did there.
10 out of 10. But yeah, I think like Chloe and Julia are like solid B tier because like Chloe had really interesting blinds at the conference. It was great to see her again. Julia had a side quest.
Mm-hmm.
Julia had a side quest, which was amazing. You know who else had a side quest?
Yeah.
Our boy.
Guy.
Oh, actually, everyone gets to be in the B tier today.
It's time.
Everyone gets to be in the B tier.
Oh,
Wazzy's in B tier? Oh, hold on. Here, Wazzy's in the Kia tier now. It's okay, Zig. She's fine. She'll stop paying attention in a few minutes. No, Chloe, like all the royals. No, I won't. But like all the royals were like really good characters. You're watching my mouse this entire time. All right, good. And I enjoyed it. Olivier had one of my favorite side quests.
Oh my gosh, he really donned the white suit again. It was crazy seeing him in that again.
Oh my god! And then getting the flute, or the lute going on.
Yo, I heard those notes and I knew that it was about to be a world of pain for somebody. Fortunately, it was him. Oh my gosh! Shout out to the little girl. I forget the name, but the little girl who came down was like, "Hey, get off the roof!" and kicked him.
Oh crap! Oh god, I knew her name at one point. At the trade shop, exchange shop. What's her girl's name? It starts with a J.
Yeah, like I almost want to take a crack at it, but I want to make sure I'm not mistaking
Jingo. I was like Jazzy or something. I'm like, it's something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
That was a good time.
Almost kicked freaking Olivier off of a roof.
Almost killed royalty, and the world would have been a better place for me.
Finally. Okay. I'm also gonna put him up here in the B tier. B tier is getting real crowded. We might need to boot some people up.
Yeah, up or down.
I might move her down. Like Wazzy. I'm not uncomfortable moving Wazzy up, but Zig, you gotta relax.
Hey, no
I got the spritzer. When he did, yeah, like Olivier, or not Olivier, we're talking about Osborne. Osborne commanded that scene.
Oh my god, the chills,
dude!
In
that guy,
word, like
that dude showed up, was like, "All right, this is what's gonna happen. This is what already's happened, and I'm telling you, this is what you're gonna have happen." And it's what happened. And then at the end, we just get a casual line of text, and Osborne defeated the nobles. It's like, huh? And took over Crossbell, huh? For 2 years,
right?
Huh? All right, so like, so you remember when we were both, doing Cold Steel, right? Yep. And we read the newspaper, and we got to see some things that were going on in Crossbell.
Yeah.
And we saw and that was just generating hype. Like we knew going in, there was a trade conference, some sort of barrier. Guerrilla Fortress gets like wiped off the face of the map.
What a scene that was. Yep.
Yeah. And it was like, holy hell. And we knew that going in. And then Azure hits us back
Yeah, right.
with like, huh? Like, how is he alive?
Unbelievable.
What? Like, oh
Like,
my god.
did you see the size of that sniper? Like, there is
Yeah.
no way. Like,
Dude had a freaking Heinz beans can taken out of him.
right. Like, he was looking like a
I don't know
hollow.
why I don't know why I said Heinz beans can. Such an oddly specific can. Well, I have this can of hot dog chili on my desk. It's not beans, but like it hasn't left because I haven't moved it into the kitchen, so I never have made it. It just stays on my desk.
Unreal.
It's like my big garlic that I had on my desk for like a month.
Oh my gosh.
Just hanging out.
Oh my god.
Thinking about those beans. I do love those beans. But yeah, like 50, yeah, it was like a 50 cal anti-tank rifle or something.
Yeah.
Like,
And he lived. He calculated that it would happen, and he lived.
he's as I believe you say, the ops. Am I using that correct?
He's the ops.
I'm sorry.
No, I actually really loved hearing you do that, to be honest. So thank you.
I'm glad. I'm just trying to make sure I'm using the vernacular correctly.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
The operator on this Minecraft server, not his Christian roleplay Minecraft server.
Oh, ridiculous, yo! Like, I how is he not dead? I'm excited to find out. Like,
I know.
how he's not. I guess I'm sure that'll get explained in CS2.
It's gonna be nuts, dude. CS2 has been wild.
Mm-hmm.
Actually insane so far.
Yeah, I believe that.
All right, we've got another kind of pair coming up, and I think they're both also going to kind of go into this like high B tier.
I'm about to break right down, man.
Dude, Kilika.
Oh.
Dude, I can't believe.
It just mixed emotions every time she was there.
Mhm.
Because it's like, but then and it's no, and it's no.
Yeah, like, no, every time she shows up, I'm like, oh, Kilika, I missed you, but damn you.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then Lecter shows up, and we've got our favorite himbo. I freaking love every time Lecter's on the screen.
Yeah, honestly, so good. I mean, honestly, and rightfully so, given how he is. But like, despite Osborne being the way he is, like Lecter is probably, I would say, like the most unpredictable character.
I'd argue him or Camp.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Camp beats it. Yeah.
Like, because Osborne, you can kind of predict Osborne. Not necessarily the function of his actions, but you know that he's going to come out on top in any situation he's in.
Right.
Apparently, including getting shot to death.
Yeah.
But, like, Lecter is the wild card, right? Like, he shows up, beats the Gnosis dude in a poker game.
Yeah.
Just spent. How many times did we find him in that casino?
Good question.
Like 3, 5?
At least 3. Not enough.
Not enough. He was in a bar once. That was fun. And a train.
Yeah.
And not enough roofs. He was only on one roof, and that kind of made me upset.
True. Yeah.
Well, like, yeah, Kilika, I loved having him around. It was really nice to see Kilika specifically interact with Arios.
Yo, yeah.
At the trade conference.
Yeah,
that was fun. I love how, like, there's like a conversation you can sneak up to. And Lloyd's like, oh, I shouldn't listen to anymore. And you can just walk towards him. And then keep doing it. And Lloyd's, like, clearly just, like, right there.
Right. Yeah.
And so Kilika's like staring directly at him. Slowly approach.
Yeah.
She doesn't care.
No, not at all. Nope.
Yeah. Oh, all right. We're making good progress.
Ooh.
Why is B tier so big?
Right.
Where in B tier?
I'm sad that we didn't get to see Michelle do something.
Right.
Like, Like I at any point I was so ready. I forget at what point specifically I called it. I was like, I need to see Michelle step out from this desk and just like punch at something, like like
Right.
just that.
I just wanted to see Michelle fight just once.
Yeah, just
Because
once.
they're gonna pack someone up.
Yeah,
Like, even like, I mean, there's probably like 2 guild like desk people that I do not trust to beat someone up, and they were both in liberal where it didn't matter.
Right, exactly.
Like, whoever Michelle's up against is just gone.
Yeah.
Was the only one that did anything action? Really?
Makes sense. Yeah, the other one stayed behind the desk.
Toval.
Yeah, I guess you could kind of put an asterisk on him because
like
he's
any
not,
of the Erebonian
ones.
ones. Yeah, like any of the Erebonian ones, because they don't have receptionists.
Right, exactly. Right. So that's why I
assumed Michelle was pack someone up because Crossbell's wild. Like you can't be in Crossbell. You can't be a named character in Crossbell and not be able to take care of yourself.
In the sequel,
right?
You got a portrait in the sequel. I was ready, but I don't know. Hopefully, like maybe in a 3D game we'll see him do something. I don't know because there's no way he doesn't come back.
Oh my god, I'd love that. I'd love that so much. Oh, we got a spicy one. Bloody Shirley. She's like an A tier, right?
Yeah, she is. Yeah, and I hate to admit that, but she is.
She's very fun.
Yeah,
she is an extraordinary amount of fun when she's on screen, but she might be a little too crazy.
Yeah. Gosh. She's good.
She's very single-minded, and like that definitely holds her back. She's chaotic, evil, and we love to hate her. Yeah, you love Shirley and her trading orders. Yeah, like good looking at alternative line. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, right. I like that too. Yep.
I mean, I thought that like she had some of the coolest boss fights.
True.
Unfortunately, her last one came after the point where I was comically overpowered. So
yeah, can't walk at that point.
Yep, at that point it was over for everyone. I had 100% dodged Lloyd Bannings. How do you defeat that? You don't. It's sad.
Yeah.
Murder Mystery Team. Yeah, but like. I liked her arc. I liked where she ended up, which is apparently Ouroboros.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Yeah, that kind of blew my mind because when you beat her and all that, and she passes out and stuff, I was like, are you having a little change of heart over here? But when the Ouroboros thing happened, I was like, okay, well,
yeah, it tracks. That one image is like the most infuriating thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? But no, Shirley's great. Who is this guy?
That's the Rocksmith. Leader for Alfred. Yeah.
Big C.
Yeah, he kind of tried to be an Osborne, and
he was like he was trying to be Osborne.
Yeah.
He tried really hard. He failed. I saw him and I immediately like, wait, who the hell?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We're on our last line. That's good. He has a nice mustache. He does have a nice mustache, and we got we have another big one. S tier.
I would debate. Like development was nice. Obviously, she gets the development of the Vision back, and just like how mature we continue to see this character be throughout the game, and be like a rock for multiple characters, Kia included. I would say, like, Shizuku's great.
I think she is probably one of the best supporting cast members.
Yes. Easily.
I also would like to point out that none of the main characters made it to S tier. It's been purely support characters. Yeah, it's been purely supportive cast.
What do you mean Guy Bannings is the main character?
Fair. But like, no, she's great. Yeah, like her and Kia are like very like two of the better characters in this game.
Easily, and it's so
Yeah.
crazy because they're just kids.
Yeah, they're just
kids.
trying to have a good time.
Yeah.
Ooh, Sergey.
Oh man.
See, this is another tough one because I kind of want to put him in S, but I don't know that he's actually cooler than Lloyd Bannings.
Right, exactly. He's kind of not, but he's the chief. He's so good. I love Sergey. Sergey's so good.
I think I'd probably put him like there.
I like that.
Like,
yeah, I like that.
Like him and Lloyd are like basically on the same page for me.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
a big fan here. Big fan. I like he's also like kind of surprisingly powerful.
Yeah.
Which I was a big fan of.
Mm-hmm. May nothing terrible ever happen to this man. Like ever.
Not a single thing. Last time we heard Japanese VA, no
way. Dang.
What's the last time I heard anyone's Japanese VA? Because I listened to the dubs. Wait a minute, does Reverie have a dub?
It's gotta.
Oh, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out, I guess.
True.
Ooh.
Yo, Mirai?
All right, why is Randy's girlfriend significantly better than Randy?
Right. Mirai was cool.
She pulled up this game.
Yeah.
Oh no! I remember someone telling me that. Yeah.
She was doing what I wanted to see Noelle doing.
Right. Yeah. Honestly, if their two roles were reversed, that would have been very cool.
Yeah, agreed.
But like, no, I liked her a lot. I would probably put her like up here.
Easily.
I know B tier is very crowded, but like,
well, yeah, we'll look at B tier and see if we can do anything about it later.
Yeah, but like, no, Mirai was she was like, yeah, she's yeah, the wolf in army team. Yeah, she's literally like, I have a bunch of military and wolves. And I don't know, she had some very good moments. It was great to see her have those moments where in Zero she definitely kind of got sidelined.
Right.
And then, you know, had to deal with like the Gnosis nonsense as well. Hi, Cat. What do you want? What do you want? Eat your food. No one's telling you to not eat your food. Speaking of cool people in the military, Bales. I'm willing to put her in A.
Likewise. Bales is so
Sergey's ex-wife. That is
that was wild.
Ooh, man.
That was wild.
Reverie will have the EN dub. That's good. That's great. That's good knowledge. But no, Bales was amazing. Every time she was on screen, I was happy.
Yeah.
And she gives Noelle, she punches Noelle back to us, which made me happy. I know it upset you.
Yeah, like it was necessary. I knew it was going to happen. Obviously, I guess I can let it slide because she's the one that did it, right? Like that's the level of respect I have for Bales. Like I can let those things happen and it'll be fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. Ooh, we're in the villains.
Oh,
it's all villain all the time.
Oh,
and we're starting off with a heavy hit.
Literally the heavy hitter.
I gotta say, the 5-minute timer Sigmund fight is legitimately the most stressful fight this series has tossed at me. And this game has some very stressful fights.
True.
But like they put a real time timer on my turn-based game, and that set off panic alarms.
Yeah, absolutely it does.
I was not okay with that. That being said, I have a lot of the same complaints that I had a lot of complaints from when we were talking about Randy.
Yes.
Where like I didn't like the fact that basically 90% of this plot is basically not 90%, but like a good like half of this plot is like, Randy, you should be the war god, and then he ends on I would be the war god. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, like in my mental, it's actually hard to place him above C because like I think about like like our first introduction to him, right? And it's like, oh, we had that support request, and it was like, go slay these monsters. All right, cool. Then we show up, they're already dealt with, and there's a creepy old man with an eye patch looking at the railroad, and he tests you on like the train and stuff. And so I was like, okay, this is like a really cool introduction. Oh snap! All of a sudden, he and his daughter are occupying the old, the old mod base in Crossbow. Oh crap! Oh, hey, Randy, be the war god. Oh, crap. And then, like, shortly after that, it very quickly deflates, I feel. I mean, obviously, the
I'll agree with that.
The fight, like, the fight with the timer is a bit of an outlier on that, right? Like, I think the stage was set up perfectly for that.
I think,
like, character-wise, like,
I think, like, he kind of deflates, but, like, obviously other stuff is going on in the story. But like he definitely has like a low period where he's just kind of around, and then like obviously the raid on Crossbell happens,
of course.
And Blue Satire, welcome in.
What's going on, Blue?
But like obviously the raid on Crossbell happens, and then we have just a bunch of nonsense, just a whole ton of nonsense happens, and then it picks up definitely, and then his domain at the end,
oh my gosh,
that fight was rough. It actually wasn't the hardest of the domains for me though,
right?
The walled one was the one that gave me the most trouble.
It makes sense.
Just because of the way my team was set up.
Okay. Yeah. I believe likewise for me as well. Like in general, I didn't have too much difficulty getting through, but I think Walds did scare me a little bit.
Walds was super spooky. He was the big spook. But yeah, like, oh yeah. Yeah, hello, count these passengers. I murdered those. Peace. Like, also, he breaks the rules twice. The 5-minute real-time timer.
Yes.
And also, when he asks you to count the passengers, he just gives you like a number, like a thing, like input a number. And nothing else in that game ever does that.
Right.
Which is nuts.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous.
It's tough.
Dieter's hard. Dieter LaCroix is a hard man to rank because he really got screwed over.
He did.
Like, he's still a villain, but he's like a punch clock villain, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's in it for the money and the job and the health insurance. Hiccuping. Rules are meant to be broken. Well, actually, I think he's more... Rules are not meant to be broken, but you can set the rules as you want them to be. I think that's him.
When it came to some of the crazier reveals for him down the line, did you kind of expect any of them? Like, after a certain point, obviously, it became kind of predictable, but I projected a lot of what actually happened, I guess, through him to Maria Bell. Like, by the end of the day, it was pretty much all her anyways, but, like, he was the messenger for a lot of it, and I wasn't seeing some of that coming.
I was caught almost entirely off guard. Maria Bell, I was joking about it at one point, but then I'm like, wait a minute. Like, but I didn't see, I did not see Dieter LaCroix coming, because even when I was like, okay, Maria Bell, all right, I get it. I'm like, there's no way Dieter's involved.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
And then he was, and I'm like, oh no. And as soon as that swish flipped in my head, like, so many dominoes fell into place.
Right.
I was like, like I was literally sitting there seeing the whole plan click into place in my head, like in real time. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, for real.
Oh. I just see the trade conference didn't proc for me because I was just like, all right, whatever. He's just like one of those young idealist kind of dudes.
Exactly, right?
You
Didn't proc
know,
for me.
he's like,
No.
he's sitting there like, oh, all you old fuddy duddies with your, traditional nonsense. I'm gonna shake up the politics. Like, I didn't expect a power grab.
Exactly. The only time I expected, or I kind of like had a guess on him, was when Maria Bell approaches Kia on the boat after the beach episode. And so I was just like, oh, okay, like, this is a family thing. Like, are they in on this? Like, is it both of them or is it just her? And then I kind of sort of isolated it because for a little while afterwards, right, as far as you're aware anyways, the writer is he's just doing politician things, right? And I think you maybe meet with him like one other time afterwards or something like that. Or, oh, you know what? No, I'm thinking of like the dinner at Michelin Wonderland.
Yeah, you're thinking of the dinner because that's the first thing that popped into my head.
Yeah, you could have maybe pegged him there too, but even then, like, like it's just he's doing politician things until it's time to kick everything into motion. Then it's like, whoa, wait a second.
Oh yeah. So like, where do we want him? I just kind of slapped him on A tier. For now, but like, is he A tier?
I wouldn't put him there. No,
I think he's B at best.
Ended up just being a pawn.
Like, is he get to be surprised of things? Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Like, I'd probably I'm fine with him being here.
Tough, right? That is tough.
He's sinking lower.
Oh no way! Oh shoot!
Sinking lower.
Like looking at it, I do see why.
Because like I'm looking at like Dudley and like Abbas and like these characters, which I'm like, these characters are really good. Like he had a big impact on the plot, but dude, he got screwed.
Yeah.
And honestly, that makes him. I'm gonna keep him in B. I'm keeping him in B. I'm fine with him in B.
Cool. All right.
Maria Bell's an A though.
Oh, easily. Oh my gosh.
She is a now. Okay, so where Dieter is a punch clock villain, she's in it for the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Clearly. Like, oh my god. Her outfit was so extra.
I'm trying to think of who it like reminds me of from like another game or something like that. Because there's a similar villain with like a similar outfit, and I know I'm not thinking like Luciola, even though the color schemes are similar.
She literally just looks like off-brand Maleficent.
You know what? That might be who I'm thinking of.
Like,
some part of me was also thinking of like Rita from the Power Rangers, but like less
Rita. I mean, kinda
more revealing. She is more revealing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, definitely more revealing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, God, that's freaking. You know what's actually really funny? Mm-hmm. In the puzzle, that I have, Maria Bell is in the back in a little devil costume.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And then Dieter is in a king costume.
Oh.
Like, the longer you look at this, the more little things pop out. It's kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts.
Okay.
Yeah. It like that's what I love about this series, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But no, like Maria Bell, she's in it for the lifestyle. She is villain hardcore. Like she goes to become an Ennui, which is insane. Like, she just is casually like, oh yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I just applied for a job. I got an interview. I gotta go. Like, see ya. Stares at the puzzle. You're not even wrong. What? You don't stare at things you have on your wall to appreciate them?
Yeah,
just
no way.
Randomly, just look at your wall and be like.
This guy.
Look, physical humor is important. I would probably put her like here. She's easily my favorite antagonist in this game.
Yes, 100%.
More or less theater major than Blue Blanc. Oh, Blue Blanc has like a double doctorate in theater. No one out theaters Blue Blanc.
No way.
It's not possible. I love Wald. Completely unironically, Wald is great. Like, Wald goes up in this A tier for me. Like, easily. Easily an A tier. I love that his whole thing with Wazzy. He's just like beating the crap. Like, he's just mad the whole time. And then they're like, why? You could demonize with the regular gnosis? And he's like, yeah, man. I don't know why.
I just can't.
Thumbs down the YouTube video. Hold on. I'm about to say good things about Wazzy. Because I didn't get to say this earlier. And I wanted to think about this.
Yeah.
Wazzy, as we said earlier, had like a moment where his character kind of flipped, right? And then suddenly he was in a position of authority, blah, blah, blah. And it didn't affect his personality. But things that I was complaining about earlier in the game with Wazzy, he literally talks like, because the fight in the rain against Wald, right?
Yes.
He like, I was like, kind of like, man, why did you do that? Like, what was the point of this? Right. And then later he even talks about how he's like, man, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
That was an error. And I like that. That's like a character admitting a flaw like that is one of the coolest things.
That is huge.
The bit badges look great. Thank you. I'm very happy with them.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with them. Like, I love the sub badges and the bit badges. I think look amazing. They're both done by Spiffy.
Yeah, they're
absolutely
both
amazing artist. As well as my new animated emotes.
Yes.
But yeah, like Wald's just like a big muscly dude. He gets to hang out in the Skype call.
True. Oh my god.
He literally just shows up. He's like, hey man, what's going on? Major character in this tier list? Oh, all right. Who? I don't think so. I think we got all the characters. Hold on, we got.
I'm waiting for who Navas is about to say because it's either legitimate or. Oh, is he actually not there? Oh.
Wait, is he not here?
He's actually not there. No.
How?
That's all right. He goes to F anyways.
What?
Grimwood.
All right, we'll talk about Grimwood at the end. All right, we'll talk about Grimwood at the end.
He's last.
Similar wavelength. Yeah. All right, we'll save Grimwood for the end because I was gonna save him for the end. I swear he was on here because I literally remember putting him at the end.
Right.
And now I'm confused.
See? And just like the villain he is.
Yep. Captain Bullcut goes in the F tier.
Yeah, I hate him. He was whatever.
He just sat there and it's like, the data, the robots. Would you like to have a candy? Like, he's just like sitting there in his windowless van being super creepy, and I don't want to interact with him ever again.
No way. But also, you'll definitely be seeing him soon.
I hate it. I know he's going over to Erebonium. I just don't want him to.
Yeah.
He altered the timeline to get rid of Ian. God, we wish.
That's got to be what it is.
But yeah, however, S.
Oh, easily. I was waiting for it.
S.
Yep. Aryanrod, fantastic.
For more information, read the manga.
True. Honestly, I guess, well, I mean, no, never mind. I was gonna be like, oh, should we have included her, like, her minions on there? But no, I think that's fine. I feel like they're going to be a top later.
I think her minions aren't like a major character. Like, Towa's not on this tier list. Even though I would, and same with Juna, the pink hair girl in the police station, because like they don't do anything. Like I would throw them in like the C to D tier. Like I love Towa, but Towa doesn't do anything. She
It's
just
true.
shows up. She makes my life better. But like, that's
Yeah,
not because of things she does here.
of course. Yeah, that's true.
You know.
Yeah, 100%.
Captain Bullcut does get half point for that. That's fair. Captain Bullcut. I like how multiple villains try to recruit Tio over the course of this game.
Yeah.
Like Ouroboros, Mirabelle.
Yep.
Just everyone's like headhunting Tio and like, God, I know she's cool, but like y'all need to chill.
Right. It's kind of ridiculous.
But no, she's great. Her minions are great. Play trails to find out.
True.
She's like immortal or something. I don't know.
Something's going on with her. She's got blue text.
She has blue text, and that's for ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine a timeline where Tio accepted. Okay, hold on. Villain Tio?
Villain Tio. Ooh.
Oh, I'm kind of way into that conceptually.
Yeah. It's a very real possibility that could happen.
Dang. That would be wild. That would be actually wild. All right. Where the hell are we putting camp?
See, it's weird, right? Because he does have presence in this game multiple times. I don't know though. In a way, I'm almost, at least right now, I'm almost like tired of him because it's just the same shtick we saw in Sky again, basically. And he still ends up being sort of like not necessarily uninvolved, but he's sort of just like, oh, I'm literally doing this like just because it has nothing to do with what actually is going on elsewhere. So, I'm just here to mess around. And it's like, all right, man. Well, see you later, I guess.
Who and what is campy? Campy is campy, and campy is campy, and therefore campy goes in the C tier.
Yeah, C for campy.
Yeah, like Campanella's cool, right?
Yeah.
Like, I like the character.
Yeah.
But like, he's done the same thing like 5 times now.
Exactly.
He did let us know Luciola's alive.
That is true. That is
like
true. As if we needed the confirmation, but it is true.
Like, because I was very much like, oh God, is she was that her?
Oh yeah.
And then when he pulls out her ghosts, he's like, I borrowed them from this lady. And I'm like, oh God, she's alive.
Mm-hmm.
But like, and I like Campanella. I like his shtick, but his shtick is just not stopped for 5 games.
Yeah. It's just the same.
All right. We have one more here, but then we are going to talk about Ian. I want to know what was going through your head in the last domain fight with him. What were you thinking?
I'm so happy to punch him in his stupid face. It's funny. I honestly think that the moment is set up for it's the perfect moment to actually feel sympathy for what he's going through. Like, the domain literally gives you that whole idea, right? With all the chains and everything. It's really, really good.
However, it's very well done.
I felt none of that at that point. Because I'm like, wow, understandably you discharged your daughter from the hospital, right? But like, I don't know. I just feel like he maybe, and this is where I was kind of sort of challenged on, but like, I'm sort of like, okay, the event that happened to your wife and your child was clearly a setup of some kind, and you're aware of this fact already. Now, I don't believe we've established what that fact is just yet, right? So, okay, fine. But then why would you then sign yourself up for that kind of conspiracy? And obviously, we then learned that the answer is probably to bring his wife back after Kia like handles business, right? I guess that was the whole plan. The entire time, like, Arios is depicted as like this very, stoic, yeah, but like also pretty like selfless character, right? Like he sort of will just he just acts, right? Like he just acts, and he's there to save the day, blah blah blah, brace her this, he's the hero, whatever. Detective past, so on and so forth. So I'm like, how is it like it almost felt like it was easy for him to sort of switch that like compass inside of him, even though obviously he was like that the entire time. Almost a penchant for self-sacrifice. I guess that's a kind of a good way to look at it too. I
I
When
think I
yeah,
think with Arios, I see where he's coming from because I
yeah,
feel like I'm reading I correctly like I feel like there's a lot of parallels with him and Noel.
mhm,
But Arios didn't have a Lloyd. Well, he
right,
did. He had Guy. But
yeah,
but like Ian literally like you could see that moment, like especially in that flashback, you could see Arios be like, all right, man, maybe this is kind of crazy. And then Ian
yeah,
shoots Guy, and like
yeah,
you can see where that turned around.
right, yeah, 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 yeah. That is true.
And you can see like because Arios, I don't think he was ever like a true believer
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
the plan.
Yeah,
But
and
like
it's
it
true.
was all a means to an end for him.
Exactly.
And I think he kind of like hit that end of his rope where he's like, all right, this is just what we gotta do. Like
Hmm.
I like he's just stubborn to a fault. Like I
Yeah,
honestly believe he's one of the better written antagonists.
I can agree with that point. I,
Uh
I do, I do agree with that point.
that that being said, I loved beating the hell out of him. Um
Right.
Also, I will posit this. Get Over the Barrier is not his boss theme. Get Over the Barrier is Lloyd Banning's boss theme.
Facts.
I firmly believe this.
Hmm. Yeah,
Maybe like
facts.
the SSS as a whole, but like it is not the Ario's boss theme. But like when
Yeah,
Roaring
no,
version kicked in for that fight, oh my god. Oh
yo,
my god. That
and the setup was like perfect, like
it
just
was
really
it was a absolute tier zero, banned in several
good.
formats for being
Yeah,
too
yeah,
powerful video game moment.
yeah.
Uh I I'm legitimately willing to put him in S tier for myself, but I know you probably want him knocked down.
Ooh. All right. So despite everything you said, better than Lloyd Banning's?
You're right.
Like, I mean, it's like
No,
you
you're
either bump
right.
Lloyd, okay, yeah, put
Bump
up
and
this,
Lloyd.
yeah.
You're correct. I apologize. But
I
like I
yeah,
do believe that Arios deserves to be an S tier. He
I
can be the
I can see
bottom
it. Yeah,
with the
I agree.
barriers symbolized as in zero. What was that? Sylveon. But like, yeah, like no, Arios Arios is like my favorite antagonist so far in like any of these Trails games.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
This game, dude, like I said, this is the back 5% of this game just changed everything.
Oh, wow. I'm actually surprised. Okay. Wow.
For Wazzy Crimes by moving Lloyd, it's true. Anti-hero right versus antagonist. I mean, I'm using antagonist as in he's going against the main party, like the protagonist like viewpoint characters, as
Yeah.
opposed to like villain. But like anti-hero is like because an anti-hero is basically just a version of antagonist.
Yeah.
It's like I would consider that to be a subsection. Now there are
Agreed.
people who would argue that that's incorrect, but I don't care. It's my tier
Yeah.
list.
Yeah. Yeah, no. You are right. You are right in
Yeah.
what you're saying.
But I don't know,
Um,
like hit me. What are you thinking? Like, is that where we want Arios?
no, the more I think about it, the more I'm fine. I'm still more so processing like that you said that like he's your favorite antagonist in the entire series so far, and I'm like,
Well, who would you
whoa.
pick? Who would be your favorite antagonist so far? My cat
Um,
is this is my cat's tier list now.
amazing,
Ow, my
actually.
back.
Um,
Ow.
it's wild. I think I'm still on the Osborne train, and like
Oh
we haven't
yeah, I
even
forgot
seen like
Osborne existed for a few seconds. Okay, yeah,
yeah.
I got it. Cat, please get off my. Oh no, she's settling in. Oh,
Uh-oh.
I've made a mistake.
Oh
Cat,
no.
get off my back, please. No, she's going the wrong way. Cat,
Oh,
please.
we've lost him. We've lost him.
Necromancer, please. I'm going to try to stand up. Thank you. Ow.
Wiseman? I can see why you say Wiseman.
George Wise Guy? That dude's
Like, I
literally
can
in
see
hell
why
right
you
now.
say it, but like at the same time, like
This
I mean, in like the worst ways, I feel like he kind of like Eisened himself, and like I actually don't even mean that in a good way. You know, like he very quickly let his brain like blow up and be like, I am truly like the greatest of all time. And he
Mhm.
got humbled in like, the craziest way. Like he got found in basically like the equivalent of a back alley and then shot into stone. You know,
Literally,
like
some random hallway in a dungeon.
yeah. And that's like after being humbled by a girl with a staff and her boyfriend with like little baby daggers. You know, like I don't like
Imagine
I get it.
losing. Imagine losing to pre-Crossbell Estelle.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no way.
Oh.
No way.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
No.
do get it.
No. Okay. Osborne's probably good, but like, man, do like me some Marius McLean.
No, I mean, hey, look, I think that is a fine spot for him.
Yeah. All right. So we don't have Ian
We do not.
Grimwood on this tier list.
Should have died.
I agree. I think he should have died. I am not arguing with that fact. The fact that he lived is garbage.
Yeah.
And it makes me sad. Because like that would have been a hell of an ending to that would have been that would have been good writing.
Yeah.
Cat, I'll put more water in your bowl in a minute. These cats are being menaces. I swear. Back to lurk mode. Noise.
Not best girl in B tier. What, Tio?
There's so many. Wait, Tio?
Yeah, Patty is a Tio stan.
Okay. Where did we put her in our 0 tier list?
At least A, I want to say.
I think she was S.
Yeah, probably.
Like, Azure just did her dirty.
Mm-hmm. It's
Azure
true,
just did her dirty. It's not my fault.
And it's crazy because there's like a build up for her too, right? It's like, oh, you get the call from her. We even see like behind the scenes while the team is out, like she calls back or whatever, right? She calls out, I think she reaches Kia at that point, or Dudley, one of the two, and so on, or both actually, and then she gets led into the sewer and everything. Like the build up for Tio was like amazing. I actually think of all the SSS members, like the 3 returning cast members, she got the best sort of like build up to like reintroduction, right?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. And then, she has useful moments afterwards, usually, of course, being tech related things or like sensing the higher elements like she was already doing. And that's like almost kind of sort of it.
I think here's the thing. Out of all the members of the SSS, she's the one that when she's not in the party, you notice the most.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like when Tio's not there, the SSS is like at half capacity.
Yep, immediately. Yeah.
Like she carries the support of of the special support section. Like,
yep.
Like honestly, like here's the special support power rankings. Okay, Lloyd Bannings is like 50%. Tio is like 50%.
Yeah.
Randy and Ellie are also here. That's not true. I would argue that Ellie does contribute. She contributes a lot because she's basically the diplomatic arm of the SSS.
Right.
She's the one who allows us to deal with diplomats. It allows us to deal with the politics of Crossbell and interact with those. She's the one who has the knowledge base of society, the rules thereof, and just basically how to function.
Exactly.
Randy's the muscle, but Lloyd can also pack him up, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But yeah, like I like Tio a lot. Like Patty, I get it. Trust me.
Patty is just like, Zig for Wazzy. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Look, we all have our favorite characters.
Yeah.
And mine's Noel, because I have terrible taste, clearly.
Well, we agree on mine, so I'm not tripping.
Yeah. We can agree on Rishi. So Ian's an interesting case. Grimwood's an interesting case because he did the logistics of Maria Bell's 1,000-year delusion, basically.
Yeah.
He's like, wait, you got a what locked up in the basement?
Right.
Hold up. I we can work with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, yo, for real? And then they just did it. And he's like, okay, you know, like that honors kid who like does all the work in a group project?
Yes.
He's that guy.
Yeah, he is that guy.
For the villains.
Did
Maria
you,
Bell got a cool costume.
That's true.
Dino McCroy got to pilot a Gundam and become president. And then you have freaking Ian Grimwood running around doing paperwork.
Yes, still.
Moderating international debates.
And
I'm
even
sorry.
still, at the end, he still is just wearing his suit and tie, or his vest and tie.
I love that. I actually love that about him. He's just sitting there wearing a sweater vest and a tie and a button-down shirt. That's the face of villainy.
True. At any point, did you? I think you might have mentioned it actually when I was kind of coming up on that moment. But like, is the moment you figured out that he was going to at least be some part of the bad side when you ran into his apprentice and he was like, "Oh my God, he went to the tower and disappeared," or did you? Okay,
no, I had no idea, man. That caught me like the second his face popped onto the screen was when I figured it out. I'm like, I'm sorry, huh?
Yeah, it caught me there too.
Because like I was like, there's no way, like, because okay. So you did not do the like very involved series of side quests involving the blind reporter.
No.
So there's like a whole series of these where Nielsen is like going around, he's doing investigations, and he gives you like a pop quiz, basically. And if you do all of them, Lloyd basically gets to the point where he's like, all right, there's like 3 people that could have been the guy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And like, he just flat out was like, all right, there's like a very, very small list of people. And Lloyd's got it. And I'm like, there's no way. Like, I refuse to believe it is any of these 3 people.
Right.
Like, it's got to be like Maria Bell or something. Like, I was fully on the like, all right, Maria Bell killed Guy Bannings.
Right.
Has to be the case. There's no way it's not. Wow. But then it was Ian freaking Grimwood, and I'm like, because like when I saw his apprentice, I was like, oh God, he's with all the other dignitaries or whatever. Or he's locked up, because I noticed they did a pan through like when Dieter was doing his announcements or whatever. They did a pan of like, that floor where everyone's, under guard. And like it shows them. I'm like, oh, he's up there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
But then he wasn't in those rooms, and it didn't proc for me.
Yeah, same, right? I didn't think about that either.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe we still had more tower to go through, but next thing I knew, it was like, oh, hey, here's the boss fight. And I was like,
and then I'm like, okay, because I mentally moved on. Oh, no, you're good, Sylveon. Yeah. Well, like,
you're totally fine.
Like, honestly, like, it didn't, like, it's interesting because, like, you can put the pieces together. I just didn't.
Yeah.
And it made me feel a little stupid.
Right.
But, like, there's nothing I could have done about it.
It's because of, like, the I mean, again, this goes for a lot of other characters too, but the way they veiled Grimwood was really, really good, right? Because starting from 0, it's like you were like every now and again you go to him for like literal legal advice, right, or like insights into whatever, and he helps you out, and he's very honest and earnest about it, very just forward with everything too. Like he doesn't beat around the bush. He's just like, you know what, like it looks like this is the setup here, or here's what I can tell you. Cool, put the rest of the pieces together yourself. You got it, and. Like every time, usually anyways, the SSS is like, oh, okay, cool. We're kind of picking up what you're putting down. We got this, no problem. Then of course, his role in the trade conference as like the mediator, right? And then he's literally working on the legislation for whenever, when it's time for Crossbow to declare independence, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And you're aware he's a very busy man. So you're thinking like, when does he have the time to put together a diabolical plan? Like when he literally does not have the time. There's no feasible way that it's possible. And it's been him the whole time. Like,
because that was a thing. I'm like, when would he have done this?
right.
Like, what time frames does this man deal with? And that's the reason Dieter kind of threw me off guard too, because like he's also set up as this super helpful guy. Like he's literally the dude who gives us a car in the in the climax of Zero. He gives us the roaring version, like cutscene.
Yes.
He has that whole speech about justice.
Yes.
Which gets brought up again. And like, oh my God. It's like, yeah, he's helping us as late as what's that side quest? With the guy. Minier? Minnow? The con artist guy.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's scummy dude.
God, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that guy finally actually got. Got. It was amazing. But like
when it got put together, like because Chad helped me along figured out that he was the one who put the Kapuas out of business. I was like, oh my God, that's him.
Yeah,
that blew my mind. I could not.
Same. Because I was like, what?
Good writing. Good writing.
Wild. This tier list is only for Azure. Yeah. We're not counting like outside, like we're not counting stuff that happens from Zero necessarily. Unless it's like foundational, right?
Right. Exactly.
This is purely their Azure, especially from like main characters. Because like honestly, like if we included last game, I'd probably knock Walled down.
True.
And yes, there'd be a lot of changes if we included Zero.
For sure, there would be.
Yeah.
Yes. So Ian, one thing that like I hated at the very end, besides him not dying, obviously, is sort of kind of like how quick he was to sort of like flip to the other side after the talk no jutsu hit him.
Dude, because, right? Like, he's like, oh man, you got a good point. All right, yeah, let's pack it up.
You have been meditating on this for 5+ years, okay? And it took one person, I guess, the person who had all the pieces together already at that moment, to just look at you and be like, hey man, that's bad.
Yeah, Lloyd's like, have you considered not hanging out with the obvious supervillain? And he kind of like I swear, if this was animated, Ian would have done just kind of like a side eye at Mariabelle and be like, man, what am I doing with my life? Like he's sitting there in his like a sweater vest and a tie, and she's sitting there like freaking Maleficent from the musical Wicked.
Right, exactly.
The musical Wicked is not Maleficent. That's the Wicked Witch of the West. What am I doing? Sorry. I'm bad at musical theater. How dare I? This is why I only have a minor in theater, not a major. They don't have my degree in it.
Oh my God.
That's a real fact.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So where do you honestly put him?
I'd probably, if it weren't for like the fact that he A, lived, and B, basically got talked down in under 10 minutes, I'd probably put him in A tier, but he's somewhere in B for me.
I could see that. Oh.
Well, Speaker Hartman doesn't do anything. Yeah, this is just Azure. Those guys were in the last game. Okay, Ernest was technically in the prologue.
Right.
He shows up and he's like, am I too late for the end of the game? And we're like, yes.
Yeah. And then
Zero's over.
Yeah. And then he shows up kind of sort of again at the end of the game. You have a brief
dialogue. Oh yeah, he's in the prison. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
D tier. We didn't even have a D tier, but Ernest can go in it.
Definitely.
That's the tier that Ernest goes in.
Yeah, I could see Grimwood at like B.
Like a mid B.
Like if he's not B, he would immediately drop to F for me. Just because of the way that it like, and it's funny, right? Because it kind of goes against like what you were saying earlier about how like, you know, if the ending is bad, then that doesn't necessarily make the rest of the product bad too, right? And so like
Yeah.
I'm holding to that, and that's when I'm like, okay, all right, B. But oh my
No,
god,
no,
like that.
I get it. Honestly, that's one of the reasons that what's his name? Honestly, that's honest. I don't know. Maybe that's why Randy is so low for me, because Randy like had a really great. I love where Randy ended. I hated how he got there.
Right, agreed. And it's funny too, right? Because even like sort of the beginning, right? The build up to Randy rejoining the team, it's so good. It's like, oh, he's training with the military. He's like, he's helping the others train up from after the Gnosis stuff and all that good stuff, whatever. And it's like, oh wow, like look at Randy being like productive and just good, right? He comes and saves you from the first cryptid and everything. It's so good. And then the rest of the game,
I asked in my Discord like 3 days ago if this list was missing people, and everyone was just like, it looks great. Missing the brights, but I wasn't going to add the brights to it, so it didn't matter.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Good. Did George do enough in the story? The doll maker, yes.
I would say so. Yeah, he fulfilled his role for sure. Actually, I was actually a little bit disappointed that we didn't get to explore the dollhouse.
Dude, right?
Like they I don't want to say they alluded to it, but like they give you words that make it sound like it's an allusion to that happening at some point.
I'm so mad that we did not get to explore that, because it sounded so cool.
Yeah, it sounded like a great idea.
It would have been so good. And I'm like, but no, like George, I love the fact that he's basically like, one of his major concerns was they hurt the stuff I made for the Arkansas performances.
Yep.
Dude, I love mad. That. He hates Dr. Bowlcut, which I'm a fan of.
Yes.
Most crazy trap dungeon and factory. He literally has Chemical Zone as a house.
Yeah. Yep.
Which I'm a fan of that. No, it's wild, man. Get lost every 2 or 3 times. Hey, I think that would be funny, personally.
Yeah.
But they would definitely make extra AP to do it correct the first time blind, and that would have made me really irritated.
All they would have to do is just give us like a little like yin episode, like they kind of gave us like with Joshua when he was separated from the main party, okay? And it would just be like, oh, here's Risha's attempt at breaking in.
That would have been fun.
Part of the story is that, like boom, easy.
All right, that would have been really fun.
Yeah,
I'd do
boom.
that.
That's all.
Yeah. Just doing random stuff, just having a grand old time, getting lost. Yeah. I love getting lost. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Exactly, and that way Risha like. She has like a narrative like escape button, because obviously she didn't get caught. She just left. Yeah. Right. So boom, and that's it.
Yeah, I'd be into that.
That'd be a good way. Yeah.
Like again, I would love a Guy Bannings.
Yes.
Yeah, a Guy Bannings game would be the best game.
If I was like a game developer, like a really, really adept game developer, I'd just make it myself.
Make it like a visual novel.
Yeah,
we have all the info.
It's true,
and we have all the story beats.
Yep, it's true. You just gotta, put the pieces together.
Oh no, like not floor base. No, not that.
No way.
I hate that. That'd be awful.
Yeah, it would make sense though.
No, the brights are not going to be on this tier list, because the brights showed up. Beat up a robot, got beat up by a robot, blew up a different robot.
Yeah.
And then sat in mains. That's the Bright's contributions to this video game. And I was mad when I saw them pull up, because I was like, Estelle, you stay the hell away from this epilogue.
Yeah.
You are not stealing Lloyd Banning's extra game. I couldn't believe it.
I don't know if I said it out loud, but I definitely made a mental remark in my head, at least. When she showed up, I was like, oh, Eric is upset right now.
I was physically mad. I was steaming. Taking criminals out for a beer before tossing them in jail. Yeah. CS2 is next in line for both of us. Yes.
Yes.
I have started Cold Steel 2 already.
Yes.
I'm taking a quick hiatus right now, just to kind of get the YouTube channel situated and kind of lower my workload.
Yeah.
And honestly, I just want to play some Zelda. I've been watching you play Zelda like all week, and I'm like, I just want to play more Zelda, man. I need that in my life. I need that kind of positivity. Nope. We're talking about Trails to Azure. I will focus. I'll focus. I promise. But like, what were we just talking about? CS2. Yeah, I'm like most of the way through Act 1 right now, and I think Felix, you're starting it on Monday.
That is my
whenever you finish whenever I finish Zelda. Yeah. What do you have left? Not much.
I have started the Zora Temple, so shortly after that, it's going to be collecting the tears. And I think there was like, I also want to see what's up with Korok Forest. And get the Master Sword.
Okay. I actually just did that.
Just did the Korok Forest?
Yeah, like 2 days ago. Not on stream. Nice. Not on stream, but like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you have the Master Sword now. Yes, yes. Yep. So shortly after that, I will probably be starting CS2. I've got a few like other little things like little one-offs that are kind of pending in the background myself right now. So I can't guarantee when I'm going to actually be picking CS2 up.
But it's like the next big thing you're going to be doing. Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm going to be back to it relatively quick. I just also kind of want to, I just want to get the Zelda out of my system.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and like we've been both doing a lot of Trails. And you don't do like that half and half thing like I do a lot, where you do like, you just do one game. Exactly. And I tend to do like two. Or I'll do one rarely.
Yeah.
You could see an argument for Ren and Patermater. Like, Estelle and Josh don't really contribute. You could say, like, you could argue, but like Ren and Patermater like have that. But I feel like that's just another beat in the Bright family storyline that's just taking place on a completely separate timeline of events than Azure.
Yeah, Rip and Rest Patermater.
Like Patermater exploding feels like it's something that's going to be brought up later, as opposed to, because it isn't really dealt with in this game. It's just like, okay, Ren's upset again. But like, I feel like that resolution is either going to happen later in like maybe your like Reverie, or just not brought up. Yeah. Oh God, the Brights pulled up to Erebonia?
They told me. There's no way they don't.
I swear to God, if Estelle shows up and takes over the epilogue of a freaking Cold Steel game,
get ready, I guess.
I'm going to be so mad. I know she has 3D models. I know she's showing up in one of these games. I just don't know where.
Right. Yeah.
This is one thing. It's the thing I hate about knowing there are characters that have 3D models. I'm like, I know they're showing up eventually.
Right.
I'm just real scared of where they put her.
Same. We're gonna find out.
I think that's like all the relevant characters.
And like I've been giving it like another look over, and I actually don't think we need to adjust anything this time, or at least I don't have any suggestions.
I'm pretty happy with where we've put everyone. Obviously, Wazi needs to go in the Wazi tier, but like the Wazi tier is in our hearts.
Yeah.
If you know the words, you could join into. Yeah, basically. Older characters showing up more than I do. Okay. I love when older characters show up. Java. I cannot stress enough. I love seeing Kilika here. I love getting Lecter. I even love Reese being here, even though she drags Kevin into it. And I didn't mind. Like when Josh and Estelle pulled up midway through Zero, I was pumped.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is the hype.
Mm-hmm.
This is the absolute hype.
Yep.
But then they decided that for the second game in a row, because they did it in Sky the Third too,
Yes.
that the Bright family drama was the conclusion of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get it. But like, it's like when Cassius kills Steel, the final boss in first chapter, right?
Yeah, it runs in the family.
It's literally hereditary.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how to feel about it. Like,
Yeah.
Like, is Estelle going to show up in one of these 3D games? Yes. Am I going to be excited? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But if it's too close to the finale, I would be a little scared.
Yeah. Right. Oh God. Like. I can't even begin to like guess what kind of connections could possibly be made for Estelle to like take over a conclusion of an Arabonia based like game. You know, like
how would they do it for Crossbell? She just showed up and it was like, we're gonna have family drama in front of the final boss. Why?
Oh,
I'm sorry. I get really upset about this.
No,
it's like my one legitimate gripe with the Crossbell games.
Yeah. Dang.
Why couldn't? Whatever. We'll get to that in the review. Are there any other characters that aren't on this tier list that should be in this tier list? I don't know.
Every single member of Hayway.
Yo, just walking up the highway in suits, like not even dodging bullets, freaking love. That was a good scene.
Ridiculous.
No, I'm a big fan. I think we did it. Yeah. I think we're a good job.
We knocked it out.
Felix, thank you so much for doing this with me. As always, dude, I love doing these with you.
Same, yo. It's always a good time.
Yeah. And chat, thank you for hanging out with us and yelling at us about our opinions. If you'd like to yell at us about your opinions more, this is going to be on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, comment below. Where did we go right? Where did we go wrong? Whatever. I'm not your mom.
Patty Zig, that'll be your time.
It will. But yeah, I think we're good. I'm gonna have to download this VOD and edit out that thing. Thanks for the podcast. Thanks for y'all.